Hi everyone, and welcome to another Pilates for Rider session. We're all about hips and glutes today. It's so important for giving you that lovely stable seat and that dynamic stability in the saddle. Apologies for the wind. It somehow seems that whenever I want to go and film at the moment, it's blowing an absolute gale, so I hope you can hear me and it can ignore all the blowing wind and the blowing hair. Okay, so let's get started thinking about equal weight through your feet, soft knees, headlights forward and shoulders stacked, relaxed over the top of your pelvis. And then we're going to go into your walking, so we're going to do opposite arms and legs. Apologies if my hands disappear off the top of the screen, but I've had to really anchor everything to the ground today, so where we are is where we are. And as you're doing this, think about your rib position, so your ribs are sinking down towards your pelvis, not coming upwards. And then we're going to move into your wide position, so feet out wide, and it's the same thing, opposite arms and legs, but this time you're watching that you don't turn into a bit of a windmill, so very appropriate today. But try to keep your body still in the middle. Remember, it's connecting your upper body, your contact, and your lower body, your seat. So it wants to be stable in the middle. Okay, let's bring your arms down, and we're going to go into some marching. So again, opposite arms and legs, but getting those knees right up high. So this is a good way of getting your hips on the move, but also waking those glutes up. The leg you're standing on has got to work hard to hold your balance as you lift the other leg up. Okey-doke, lovely. Let's bring your arms down, and we're going to go to the end of your mat. And let's do a nice roll down, so feet together, knees soft. Hands in the front of your thighs, tuck your chin into your chest. And you're sliding down, curling up as tight as you can through the whole of your back. Also the bottom for a nice breath in. Breathe out, slide your hands up, tuck down with your pelvis. And you're uncurling back up to the top of your neck. We'll go down again, chin in. This time try to feel every single vertebra moving one at a time, right down until your pelvis comes last. Breathe in. As you breathe in, down onto your mat. And we're going to go onto your side. And we're going to do your glutes lifts. I know this is everybody's favourite exercise. So we'll get it over and done with first on this side. Straight line from shoulders, hips, knees to ankles. That little mouse hole position underneath you here. If you can, top hand onto your top headlight. And then we're going to go into those lifts. Nothing too high, just as high as you feel comfortable going. So that's comfortable as in your glutes feel comfortable doing it, but also making sure that you don't drop downwards. So it's got to be comfortable just in this good quality movement. We're not going to do hundreds, this is quite hard. Okay, then we're going to change, and you're going to turn your legs so that your toes are leading the way. Watch that you've turned out from the hip. Try not to let the leg come forwards as you take that leg up and down again. Keep that mouse hole open. Pelvic floor onto floor 3 if you possibly can. And a nice controlled movement up and down. Okay, then we're going to change it so that your heel is leading the way. This time watch you don't cheat and rock forwards through your pelvis, and make sure that turn has come from your hip. And the same movement again. Keep that mouse hole open. Two more. Okay. Then we're going to turn onto your back. I'm going to do your hip twist. This is a great one for control around your hips. So if you want to do the slightly easier version, hands onto your headlights, feet and knees approximately hip width apart. You're rolling one leg out and up, and then the other leg out and up. Keep this bit of you nice and still, so keep checking your ribs are sinking towards your pelvis. If this is easy, come up into your tabletop version. And from here the whole leg is on the go, so you're really thinking, controlling from the hip And this is one of your wine glass exercises. So try to make sure that the leg that isn't moving is staying as still as possible. Don't forget to breathe, and if you can, keep that pelvic floor onto floor 3. Okay, one more each way. Then feet down one at a time if they've been up, and we're going to turn onto the side you haven't already been on, so I'm going to swing round, and once again we're going to start with your legs straight. So make sure you're straight from shoulders, hips, knees to your ankles. Little mouse hole position open. If you can, top hand onto your top headlight, and off you go again into those lifts. And really what we're looking for here is not a great big movement. You may well find that one side is easier than the other anyway, but it's about the control. It's about, can you control the movement up? Can you control the movement down without resorting to moving through your tummy, through your pelvis to create that movement? So it's about the control rather than having the ability to get your leg right up vertical. That is not going to help you much in the saddle. There are not many times when you get into that position. So it's about the control and the movement you've got. Let's now do as we did the other side. So you're turning your foot up, opening from the hip, watching the leg doesn't come forwards, making sure it goes up and back down. Again, it's that controlled quality movement rather than trying to make it too huge. Keep that mouse hole open so your spine stays in neutral and all the movement is just from your hip. Okay, then we're going to turn. So now you've got your toes down, your heel up. Watch this time that you don't roll forwards. This is all about movement of the hip. And the more precise the movement of your hip when you're doing these exercises, the more you're using your glutes and your other deep, there's loads of deep hip muscles, but also the better that's going to translate into when you're in the saddle even, your saddle to be fair, and you're trying to be precise with your leg aid positioning. Okie doke, we'll do one more of this one. And then rest your leg down. We're going to go on 2 hands and knees. And we're going to start with an exercise that I have to admit I find pretty difficult. So see how we get on. And we're going to do some one leg circles. When I'm facing, you're going to get to see my bad leg first. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You're going to take one leg out behind you. Try to get it basically horizontal. And you're going to do 5 circles one way. And then 5 circles round the other way. Bring that leg in, take the other leg out, and you're going to do the same thing. So 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other way, and back in. So again, with this, you're not looking for great big movements. And to be fair, I'm not too concerned about whether you're trying to get perfect circles or not. There might be more triangles, there might be squares, oblongs, who knows. It's more about getting that quality of movement so that you can do fine controlled movements around your hip, equally on both sides. And fine control is important. Yes, we need to every now and again give the horse a good kick, but you know, when it's spooking at something or you're approaching a fence and it backs off, you need to be able to give a good kick. But a lot of the movements that we do, it's the fine control that really matters, that precision of positioning. And this exercise I find really hard with my left leg. It's a really good exercise for that precision control placement. Do one more with each leg. Last one. Lovely. Bring your legs back in, but stay in this position. We're going to straighten one leg out behind you, come out to the side, behind, and tuck under. Same with the other leg. So straighten, out to the side, behind, and in. You want to just gently scrape the floor with your big toe as you go. but the object of this is to control the movement, so you stop when you get to the end of your hip movement. This is the end of my hip movement. If I go any further, I have to use my body to create the movement. Once again, yes, this is a much bigger movement, but it is about training your body to recognise when you get or change between hip and pelvis movement, and we want it to be specific to your hips. So don't worry about the size of the movement. Once again, it's about the control and about the precision of your leg placement. And do one more with each leg. Super job. Okay, come up into kneeling, and we're going to finish off with your hip flexors stretch. Remember, it's not a true stretch. We're not trying to make your hip flexors longer. We're just trying to take them through their natural movement. Okay, so you want to find your balance before you start. Think about your headlights here. Take your headlights upwards. Keep them upwards as you push your pelvis forwards. Ease that stretch off. And we're going to do the same again. So tilt upwards and push forwards. And ease off. And we'll do it one more time. So tilt upwards and push forwards. Ease back off. And we're going to swap and do the same thing on the other side. So again, get your balance before you start. Then it's tilting those headlights upwards, pushing them forwards, and easing off. And again, tilt up, push forwards, ease off. Do one more. Tilt up, push forwards, and ease back. And we're going to finish there. So yes, that's what we call it the hip flexor stretch. It's really taking your hip flexors through their full movement, but it's also about getting them to work. They're controlling your weight as you go forwards, and that's what they need to do when you're in the saddle as well. So, a quick whiz through some slightly different combination of hip exercises there. It's worked your glutes, it's worked your hips. Hopefully giving you a few more pointers about how you can improve that precision, that control around your leg position in the saddle. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tolerating the weather. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you very soon.